Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. Today is Sunday the 28th. I'm in Maryland Zone 7. And my whole goal today is to get a lot of these tomatoes and pepper transplants out into the garden. So I'll probably be working a good 8-10 hours in here getting all these beds ready. I want to show you the progress I made since last week, show you some of the stuff that's growing. Now that we're approaching May 1st, realistically there's not going to be an issue with frost, but I did roll the dice and put out a lot of stuff early. Let me just show you the fruit area first. These were all the plants that I brought over from my previous home. Blueberry plants, they're all starting to leaf out and they're doing really, really well. This whole section were the different bare canes that I bought. Bare bush, which means that the roots come really with all the soil knocked off and they are sent to you. You got to get them into containers and they're all starting to bloom. To the left are the blueberries. Some of these different canes are starting to send out leaves and buds. When these are all bloomed, I'll talk about where I got them from in case you want to use that company. It looks like they're reliable and things are growing extremely well from them. That is my hops plant. I have 3 of them in there. They're going to grow up this area. I was trying to use some of the natural jute rope across there, but every time it gets wet it sags, so I'm going to replace it with a metal wire that I used before. Here's one of the beds. I just added mulch to this. The 50-50 mix that I was getting, because it didn't have any peat moss in it, was really drying out way too fast. And ever since I put the mulch down, well, it just rained, but it stays moist under there and everything is greening up and growing nicely. And I think these went out a couple weeks ago. These are All America Selection winners, AAS winners. These are not transplants. I did pick them up from a store. You can see that I had a cloche over that. The vases are there too. If you want to send out your smaller transplants now and you're having nights to get into the 30s or frost issues, you can drop different vases over them and that will protect them. Going to set up my green stalk tower, level off this little deck area here with some shims. The plants over here were struggling a little bit. Again, they were drying out so quickly it would rain or I would water. Next day, 70-degree sunshine, dried out quickly. I'll be going over in future videos how you can use peat moss and core to really hold water in your garden soil. But shredded hardwood mulch works extremely well. Let's come over here. I'll have a video set up for this probably today. Now, if you don't have the extra money or the time, you don't need to build raised beds or framed beds. I'm going to do a lot of different options in this garden. This is going to be a basic earth bed. We're going to mound it up, and down this, I think it's about 25 feet, every foot or so, I'm going to put a tomato plant. Every 2 or 3 feet I could put a zucchini plant, one or the other. Not sure what this is going to be, but this is a great little space. It's dug out. I'll show you what I did with the top grass from there. And then I'm just going to put in my 50-50 soil mix in here. You can put in anything really. Mix it in, set it up. I'll be doing a video on that. But this is a simple space where you could grow easily 15 tomato plants, 9 squash or zucchini plants. You can plant them a little bit closer. These are the window wells. They have been filled up using some of this. So when I took the grass out of here, you know, I probably down 3 inches, removed the grass. Along the bottom, I dropped cardboard, and then I just flipped over the grass from my left, and then I put good soil on top of there. That's nice depth. The clay soil over here has great nutrients in it. So as these flower roots reach down and get down there, they're going to enjoy the nutrients. More mulch along here. Shredded hardwood mulch you can put on top of your raised beds. You'll hear things on the internet where it says don't use hardwood, don't use wood chips in your garden. That's true. Don't mix them down 4-8 inches into your soil. Go ahead and just use them. Use the shredded hardwood on top. 1 inch or 2 will be perfectly fine. Your root systems go below that. The wood chips aren't going to compete for nitrogen with the root systems of your plant. That's my 2nd year kale. Let's come over here. Got onions in. And then I used 2 more of the window wells, and these are all flowers to bring in pollinators. the excess grass from over there. I'm also filling in the little trench that was left here. I did take a metal detector, go over this. There was nothing in here, but it was the garden. Alright, so let's come around this way. Let's just walk. Let's come up over here where I've been working. So the asparagus is up. The purple passion all came up nicely. And again, first year, you don't harvest any of the spears that come out. Just let them grow and establish. I have the Martha Washington down there, and only a couple came up. So I'm hoping they just come up more slowly than the purple passion. Either way, there's a lot getting established for next year. So this is going to be my sunken container garden. And I've been working on a video for this. Right down the middle, I already dug out a nice circle, and you cut the bottom out of a container, you sink it down there to a depth, and you can run it all the way down. Come back and fill it, and then you can put 2 pepper plants in here or other plants. And again, this is a great way to save space. I'll have a full video on that probably tonight too. I'm working on that right now. A couple of the beds are not filled yet. I want to get them filled today. My goal is to have most of the stuff out into the garden. Oh, let me cut over here because I forgot. I was talking about beans. Sometimes we're told to wait to put the beans out till later. Those are my green beans coming up along there. So you can go ahead and put out a lot of stuff now, as long as you think the frost date is gone. You can also roll the dice if you want. Some seeds just aren't going to germinate till it gets warm enough anyway, so they stay protected. But if you do have a frost that comes in, there are ways to protect your plants. This was from the Grow As I Grow series. I haven't cleaned it up yet. You can check that out on my other YouTube channel. I'll put a link in there. But this is about where I'm at. And I hope to get this all filled, set up really today. Well, most of it. I'm not going to do like the green space over there. I'm still deciding what I want. The circles that I pulled out from that area, I just flipped over and put down, grass side down, into this higher raised bed. That is clay, not solid clay, but it's a nice soil. It does really does hold a lot of nutrients. I'll just put my fill across that. When I go to plant tomatoes in different spots or bigger plants, I'm going to dig down to the depth of the grass that's down there, turn it over, add amendments, but I'll just be spot preparing this bed, and the next year this will all be ready to go. There's no need to rush and try and be perfect with everything. It just burns me out. I try never to be 100% anything. 90% is really, really good enough. So here's the general area as of Sunday morning. Sunday evening I should have a lot completed and all these beds filled. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my seed shop at www.therestedgarden.com. I'm selling peppermint oil, neem oil, rosemary oil. I'll show you how to use that in your gardens this year. It's a great way to repel insects and stop insects using something that's completely organic. Thanks for watching, and I will work on those other 2 videos. Subscribe because it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to have this all set up where you can just do a simple earth bed garden, and I'm going to have that set up in another video where you can just do a container garden. Thanks for watching.